Are you planning forward or backward? Many of you reply, forward of course, because that seems like the simple and correct response. But as you may have guessed by now, backward may be the better answer. Let's look at both scenarios in the scope of planning for a promotional exam. The person who is planning forward has a target exam or process date in mind and starts by plotting the steps in chronological order that will be necessary to achieve their desired readiness. What tends to be missing from this process is an eye for potential obstacles that may appear along the way. So, when those now unforeseen obstacles do appear, they negatively impact the originally envisioned path. Now, what if backward planning was applied? Backward planning starts with identifying the ideal outcome desired, in this case, maximum exam readiness. However, instead of planning the next steps, the focus then turns to what are the likely obstacles standing in the way of being at maximum exam readiness. By focusing on the obstacles in advance, you are now able to build action steps into your plan, as well as corresponding resources that will address those obstacles. As you can see, by working backwards, you are more likely to see the big picture and factor contingencies into your plan, which leads to the next step. Work a schedule based on your big picture analysis. For example, let's assume that you have been provided a reading list of 3 textbooks, 20 general orders, and 5 court decisions for your exam. A forward planner will look at those items and make a determination of which one to do first, second, third, etc. However, a backward planner will look at the list as a sum of pages to be processed by a certain date. In other words, to finish reading and note-taking on all documents 2 weeks prior to the exam so that the last 2 weeks are set aside for review and refresh. With that new date in mind, the total number of pages will be counted and divided among the number of days left prior to that 2 weeks prior date. Then, with the obstacles identified, pages versus days available, a schedule would be built that indicates the minimum number of reading list pages to be covered each day. That example is just for test preparation, but this approach works well for many planning and organizing scenarios. Think of this possible oral board question. The chief has assigned you the task of formulating block watch groups in your district. What would be your approach to this task? Using backward planning, your response would identify the desired outcome first, address the potential obstacles next, and then list the actions and resources that will be applied to address those obstacles, all of which will result in a well-formulated response. If you are looking for more guidance on how to develop your responses to oral board questions, go to finest.com and see if coaching, a workshop, or the new online Oral Boards Made Easy for Police Promotion course is right for you.